It's the Postgame Show on the SDH Network. Atlanta United 2, a 2-2 draw in regulation with Orlando City B, but a penalty shootout loss on the road tonight in Kissimmee. Postgame coverage brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, our presenting sponsor on the SDH Network. This was a wild back-and-forth match. It started a little slow. It started a little late. Thunderstorms in Central Florida forced a 49-minute delay. Kickoff in the first half was close to 8 o'clock, and Orlando City B looked like the team that had more time on the pitch lately because Atlanta United 2 has not played a league match since May 31st. It took them a while to get into it. Orlando City B took advantage. Atlanta settled into the game. We'll get into all of the stats from regulation here in just a bit, but here are the first half highlights from tonight at Osceola Heritage Park in Kissimmee, Florida. Up the right side to Solis. Got a little bit of space. Going to float one through into the 18. Able to pick out Freeman. Cuts it back. Goal. 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 Orlando City B. Too easy on that ball over the top to Freeman, and he got his head up. Cut back across as Cohen was coming out to try to cut down the angle. And Wilfredo Rivera puts it home for his fourth goal of the season. 1-0 Orlando. 21st minute, 1-0 Orlando. Atlanta in possession in the attacking half. Dudley. Aiden Torres. The 16-year-old passes forward to Gallardo. Matias up the left side to Firmino. Into the 18. Slips a pass through. Williams shot side netting. Drop back to Edwards. Over to Armas. Back to Edwards. Through to Okello. Okello curls one in with the right foot wide of the far post. Forward to Gallardo. He'll cut back. Across to Okello. He'll let it ride to Williams. Williams left-footed cross. Back post over the head of Aiden Torres. Be run down on the far side. Eric Centeno. Step over. Cut back to the left foot. Crossed in. Top of the 6. Sits there for a second. Atlanta can't find it. Followed up again. Back to Firmino at the penalty spot. Taken away by Naby Kibinguchi. Atlanta win it back with Noble Okello. Left-footed shot, save Mercado. Left-footed corner from Matias Gallardo. Floated to the back post. Dudley header wide of the post. Goal kick. Sometimes on corner kicks, you just keep it simple. You float it up and you ask the big man to go get it. Ethan Dudley is the big man in this scenario for Atlanta United 2, but his header was narrowly wide of the post. He'll play it to the near post, headed away by Edwards, and that will do it for the first 45. Interesting start for Atlanta United 2. It just took them a while to get into it. Orlando City B is a difficult team to play against. Their tactical setup is very fluid. They got Alexander Freeman forward a ton in the first half when he was in the match. He was causing some serious problems. Freeman would go high as Orlando City would play long. Solis would drop in underneath, and then they would flip-flop throughout the play. It was difficult for Atlanta to deal with it. In the second half, Atlanta switched to a 3 center back setup. They brought on Caden Moore for Aiden Torres. That gave them a little more stability. Also, just getting time on the field and building some chemistry helped this team a good bit. One more thing that helped this team was getting Alan Carleton on the field. Carleton started to cook, and Atlanta United 2 got back into the game. Here's what the second half highlights sounded like. Atlanta into the attacking 18. Carleton floats it to the back post. Firmino, header, goal, goal, goal. Atlanta United 2. Nick Firmino's first of the year with the twos. Alan Carleton with the assist. 1-1. Carleton played it up the right side, made a run through the middle. Centeno gave it back to him, and he just floated up across to pick out Firmino. The Magic Man delivers for Atlanta United 2. Carleton assisting, Firmino scoring 1-1 in the 70th minute. 40 yards from goal, Rivera, his pass intercepted, knocked down by Carleton. Alan Carleton will start the break for Atlanta. Carleton into the attacking half. Carleton splits two with the outside of the right foot. Tmimi into the 18. Tmimi, right-footed shot. Goal! 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 Karim Tmimi! Alan Carleton starts it, his second assist of the night, and Tmimi puts Atlanta United 2 into the lead. Get the bus started, get it warmed up. Atlanta trying to steal 3 points in Kissimmee tonight. Loyola, top of the 18, low shot, goal, 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 Orlando City B. Favian Loyola from inside the arc makes it 2-2. Heartbreaker for Atlanta United 2. It looked like Atlanta United 2 was going to get out of there with 3 points, but Favian Loyola, fresh off a stint with Chile's U20s, said, nuh-uh, I'm going to send this to a penalty shootout. The teams split the points on offer in regulation. Final stats tonight, 22-16 shots in favor of Orlando, 5 on target, 4 on target for Atlanta. Blocked shots, Orlando blocked 6 shots. Atlanta passed at almost 91% tonight. Orlando passed at 88%. Corners, 6-4 the way of Atlanta. Atlanta with 11 crosses to Orlando's 3. Josh Cohen with 3 saves. Mercado with 1 for Orlando. Fouls were 15 in total, 10 on Atlanta, 1 yellow card, but it was a costly one. Javier Armas picked up the yellow. That is his 5th of the season, and unless there's something that we don't know, he will be suspended for the match on Sunday against Inter Miami 2. So, 2-2 in regulation. It goes to a shootout, and here's how that one finished from Central Florida. Firmino high into the right corner. He converts. Atlanta still alive. Orlando can win it with their 5th attempt. Clutch conversion from Nick Firmino, who was feeling it late in this match. It's Shaq Muhammad who can win it for Orlando. Muhammad, the 20-year-old draft pick out of Duke. 6 goals on the year. Josh Cohen has to make a save, or Muhammad has to miss to keep this going. It's Shaq Muhammad for Orlando, and he wins it. OCB with the late equalizer from Favian Loyola, and Shaq Muhammad converts in the 5th round. Orlando wins the shootout 5-3. They were a perfect 5 for 5, and they take the bonus point tonight in Kissimmee. Orlando City B, they are now 4-4-6 overall, but they get another shootout win. 3 straight 2-2 draws for Orlando City B, which is kind of insane. They've won 2 of the shootouts. They are in 3rd in the Southeast Division in MLS Next Pro. They're back on the field next, also against Inter Miami 2. That will be at Osceola Heritage Park on July 14th. So they have a little bit of a break. Not as long of a break as Atlanta had. They pretty much didn't play since May 31st, almost the whole month of June off for Atlanta United 2. Orlando with 3 matches in July. They will host Inter Miami 2 on the 14th. They will travel to New York Red Bulls 2 on the 21st, and they will travel to Finley Stadium and face Chattanooga FC on July 27th. Atlanta United 2 will continue their road trip on Sunday, 6 o'clock kick. Pre-game coverage will start at 5:30 on the SDH network. John Nelson will have that one for you as Atlanta heads down to Chase Stadium in Fort Lauderdale to face Inter Miami 2. You can watch it on Apple TV's MLS Season Pass. You can listen to it, as always, on the SDH Network. In July, a little bit more of a normal schedule for Atlanta United, too. 3 of 4 on the road. They will be at the Red Bulls on July 7th. They will host Columbus on July 14th, a 7:30 kick in Kennesaw. They'll travel up to the Sportsplex at Matthews to face Crown Legacy on July 21st. And then they will go across to Alabama to face Huntsville City on July 27th. That match will be available on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app instead of the SDH Network. It will be a Soccer Down Here production on 92.9 The Game on July 27th in Huntsville. But Atlanta United, too, will have to figure out how to handle things on the road on Sunday against Inter Miami 2. This is a short team at the moment, with the first team in action on Saturday. We've talked about the injury issues with Atlanta United's first team. You don't have Noah Cobb with the twos anymore. You don't have Efrain Morales with the twos right now. You won't have Javier Armas on Sunday. So the bench tonight was Karim Tmimi, Alan Carleton, Ramsey Kawasmi, Dominic Chonqui, who was very good in his Atlanta United 2 debut, and Caden Moore, who was very good as well. You don't have the U19 players with Atlanta United 2 at the moment either. Matthew DeJaney is one that we've seen a lot for Atlanta United 2 this season. He is with Atlanta United's U19s, who will be in action in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division Championship match, where they play KSA Pro Profile. That's a 7 o'clock kick at Shiloh High School in Snellville. So if you want to make it out for that, you can watch that. You can listen to the twos on the SDH Network. All kinds of Atlanta United developmental soccer this weekend, along with the first team in action hosting Toronto on Saturday night. That's a 7:30 start time, 7:40 kick, 6:30 for our Five Stripes countdown on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app. But the bigger picture for Atlanta United, too, this weekend, Josh Cohen, you would expect, will come back to Atlanta possibly as early as tomorrow to be in the mix for Saturday against Toronto. Brad Gazan should get the start. He had a good week on the road against D.C. and against St. Louis. Some really big saves in those matches for Brad Gazan. But Cohen is your number 2. I would assume he would make the trip back. And that means on Sunday, you are looking at an Atlanta United 2 debut for either 15-year-old James Donaldson in net or 16-year-old Jonathan Ransom. Donaldson was recently with the U15s in their run to the semifinals of the MLS Next Cup up in Nashville. He's also been with the U.S. U15 national team very recently. Ransom at 16, he trained with the first team on multiple occasions last year, as well as training with Atlanta United too. So 2 very young goalkeepers are on this trip, and you would expect that Cohen would not be available for Sunday's match in Fort Lauderdale. Javier Armas, not expected to be available either after his 5th yellow card. How will Steve Cook, Jose Silva et al. Figure this one out? I will be very intrigued to see what the lineup is and how things look on Sunday. You'll be able to listen to that one starting at 5:30 on the SDH Network. John Nelson will take you through it from Fort Lauderdale. Inter Miami 2, Atlanta United 2 on Sunday. But it is a weekend of Five Stripes action across all of the various platforms. 92.9 The Game for the first team, Soccer Down Here for the second team, and the Atlantic Soccer Media Group for the Atlanta United U19s on Sunday. Myself, Jessica Charman, Madison Cruz will be on the call for that one from Snellville. Hopefully you can join us for 1 or 2 or maybe 3 if you're a multitasker on Sunday for all of those broadcasts this weekend. We'll be talking about it all week next week on the Soccer Down Here morning show starting at 9:05 Monday through Friday. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening on the SDH Network. A 2-2 draw between Atlanta United 2 and Orlando City B, and OCB takes the bonus point in the penalty shootout. Adios, everybody.